hope you're okay. Today I am going to show you how to make your very own nature journal, and it's just going to be made out of items that are going to be hanging around the house, and it's going to be a really cool place for you to explore things that are in your garden, in your local park or woods, any outdoor space that you've got. And it's going to be a place where you can draw or record what you've found, write poetry, write stories, put pressings and cuttings of anything that you've found outside. It's completely unique and it's yours. There's no right or wrong thing to go in here, so I'm going to show you how I made this really quickly. Okay, so the things that you're going to need to make your nature journal are obviously some paper. It can be any size you want, whatever you have, and it can be any colour, just whatever's lying around the house. And then also what you'll need is some cardboard. So you could cut this from the back of a cereal box or from any parcels that you've had delivered, and then you just have to cut it down to be the same size as your paper. So if you can see, I've made it the same size. Then it might be handy if you've got a hole punch, but if not, you can use scissors. Scissors will be handy if you want to cut any string. We're going to use string or ribbon or twine to bind the notebook together and make all the pages stick together. And then if you're going to want to stick anything into your journal, you might want some glue or some sellotape. And then what I've done is I've got some Sharpies and colours to colour in my front cover. Anything you want to decorate it, that could be stickers, it could be things you found out and about, it can be paints, colour pencils, anything at all. And then you're going to want something where you can do some rubbings. So we're going to find different textures in the garden, so that could be a pencil. What I've got here is like a chalk kind of thing, but anything at all that you're going to be able to use to get the texture underneath. So those are all the things that we'll need, and just use whatever it is that you have lying around. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pages and the cardboard, and then we are going to take the hole punch, set it to the right size. So this is A5, so I've just adjusted it. I've popped it through like that. I'm going to press it down, and now we've got holes on the left hand edge. Now I'm going to take some string, but you can use ribbons or twine, anything at all that you've got, and then I'm just going to loop it through the holes. You'll need your scissors for this, just so that you can chop the twine down to the right size and tie a loop around the pages. So what you're going to have now is two little loops of twine tied at the outside edge, and that means you're going to be able to open up your journal and it will be like a book. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my colours and I'm just going to spend a little bit of time decorating my journal. You can do absolutely anything you want on this front cover. It's completely up to you, and if you need to pause this video at any point, then you can do, to make sure you've got it just as you'd like it. Okay, now as you can see, I've decorated the front of my journal, so it says Meg's Nature Journal, nature, 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 nature. Got some bees and flowers and leaves, but it's completely up to you. You can decorate it however you like. Now what we're going to do is turn to the first page. You can decorate the inside covers if you want to, and it's completely up to you what's going to go in your journal, and it depends on what outdoor space you've got around you. So you might have a garden, or you might be able to visit a park or some woods, or any outdoor space at all that you see. So it's handy to carry this around with you if you go out anywhere. Now it could be that you want to use your nature journal to record things that you've seen outside, so that could be birds or insects or animals. It could be their real names, so it could be like blackbird or greenfinch, or you could describe what you've seen and then decide what new and exciting species it is that you've seen. You could draw illustrations. If you want to use this to draw, then that's absolutely fine. We could also go and investigate different textures and spaces that you've found outside, do rubbings and write descriptions. You could write stories or poems. It's completely up to you. Okay, so what I've done here is I found a leaf on the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this underneath the first sheet of paper, and I'm going to do a rubbing. So press down with the side of like a pencil or a chalk, anything that's got like a lead, and press down and use the side. And as you can see, as you rub, the outline of the leaf or whatever object it is you found starts to become clear as you rub. And eventually you'll get a really nice imprint. So as you can see, I've done that there with a leaf. And what you could do is you could write a poem about it, you could write a description. It's completely up to you. Now I've done a couple already just to show you. So on the next page, I've done a rubbing of an ivy leaf, and I've written a little poem about it. I've written green and glossy and strong, crawling up the walls, tumbling across the garden, emerald leaves dancing in the wind. And what I've written about is this ivy just here. Now it's completely up to you, and it depends on what outdoor space you've got and what you can find, but this is a great way to get down what you are seeing in your garden in a way that means something for you. So I hear a lot of birds in the garden, so I've written a little poem all about bird song, and I've done that in rhyming couplets, but again you could do that totally differently. And then what I've done here is I've just done some rubbings like the one we just did. I used a different colour. This is the bark of a tree, this is the fence that's around the garden, and it's completely up to you. So this is a place where you could draw, you could write stories, write poems. It's completely up to you. And what you might want to do is fill this in over time. You could add a date when you've written or drawn or stuck things in. You could even find bits and pieces. So like this leaf, if you wanted to save it, you could either use a new page, or on this page here where I've found it, we could get the sellotape and we could tape this down. And it's absolutely up to you. Obviously when you do tape things, they will eventually dry out and they might change colour. It could be a place where you do flower pressing if you found any flowers. I wouldn't suggest picking them, just if you find them that have wilted or are on the floor. What you do to do that is you take 2 pages, press them together, and then you'd leave something on top, so something like a book, pressing it down, and then after a few weeks you'd get a really nice imprint of that. So that is just a couple of things that you could do in your nature journal. So I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make your own nature journal. You can come back to this video at any point or pause it if you need to skip back about how to make it. I hope it really helps you explore your outdoor space, and there's no right or wrong thing. And the really cool thing is because we've used a knot, you can keep adding pages to this. So if you really fill this up very quickly, you can do another one, or you could make another version of it and have more than one journal. You could have one specifically for story writing, you could have specifically one just for your drawings and illustrations. It's completely up to you. But I really hope you've enjoyed making this, and I hope that it helps you explore your outdoor space.